I'm ready. Speak about our people.
Through the struggle, the test of time, it seems like the only thing we find is that the riches amongst the material means seem to guide our dreams, but what we need to find is the value within the people instead of material that they hold, allowing us to understand that gold can't help no one. See, it's the beauty of the setting of the sun that gives us that desired look amongst the horizon. But if we don't open our eyes to realize that an open mind actually gets fed a lot more than a closed mind amongst the one direction. But knowing that sensation that we will actually elevate one's mind to understand that these people need to really stop back and look that spending $150,000 on a nice little Bentley coupe, it seems to be nice when you drive down the street. But when you could have took that $150,000 and took 100 acres of land and held it, invested underneath the power of your authority, allowing it to be 6 years later for a developer to say that he needs the land and he'd rather pay you $1 million than. So it seems as we would make about 150% profit. But most don't even want to see that far. Most don't even want to understand the look past tomorrow. They want it today. Instant gratification that will only soothe their way, but knowing that their way may be that crooked turn down the street that would make them crash and burn, but yet they don't even learn until they see another person so bad off, worse than their own situation, that maybe they slow down and start pacing, but knowing that our heartbeats would only be wasting away amongst that ocean tide that erased the sands of time, only allowing us to understand that the beauty of life is almost like a training ground, but our heartbeats hear the sound of crying. Because most people that say they're conscious seem to be only conscious to being unconscious. That's why they don't want to speak to a brother or sister that looks the same, because they don't even understand what actually hides behind the brain. They rather look at the outside picture and think they got the whole story, but yet they walk down the street like fools in glory. But the ones who seem to come with the knowledge and held, allowing them to understand that knowledge of self is the greatest value that you could ever have, because without it, one can only be poverty. Even if they got $1 billion in the bank, it only means that that shit stinks. It stinks even worse because our heartbeats would only render the hearse, and a family to cry behind would only allow us to realize that we need to wake up before it's the last day, allowing us to see that we need to read in between the lines and start running away from books, because knowing that school seems to be divided and created by the crooks. But knowing when we educate each other about what's really going on amongst today's society, allowing our heartbeats to be conceived amongst the dream, because the beauty of life that we can share would allow us to dare to help another brother to stand up so that maybe he could be a guiding light instead of just a star, because a star is nothing but a destination. But a guiding light will lead you to the place where you're trying to be, allowing you not to stumble so many times down the road, because our heartbeats would only allow us to render our life is greater than diamonds could ever see. We can shine brighter than the sun together, unison amongst the community, allowing the unity to be you and I, tying two ends together to make it meet before the end of the week. But yet, the media tries to keep us scared of each other by utilizing the terms black on black violence. But when we was back in the homeland, we was never a part of the same tribe, and they never even understand. It's just like saying white on white violence. When they would try to say Italian, a Polak, or a German, but our heartbeats would only allow us to render the thoughts of the Mormon, the ones who actually built this country and really didn't participate amongst slavery, but yet our heartbeats would only render that maybe the government want us to be stuck underneath of financial slavery. That's the reason why he tried to go ahead and make his steps before ours, so he could drop little clues behind and hoping we'll pick them up and think that money is our God.
Hey, what they call you, yo?
They call me Little 5 Points Poetry. I freestyle off any 5 words. You can go to YouTube, look up Little 5 Points Poetry. Yeah. 25 videos, all freestyle, nothing written.
All right, got you, man. Peace.
Peace.